Well, hello. My name again is Nickolas Wildstar. I'm a candidate running for California Governor. This will be my third time running for governor. I ran in 2014 as an independent candidate, and then I ran again in 2018 where I was endorsed by the Libertarian Party. I'm hoping to run in this recall election that we have going against Gavin Newsom here to get him out of office. So I'll be running in the recall election that we'll be having here soon. And I'm a longtime community activist. I've been involved in community activism for over a decade. So I've marched and protested and tons of rallies for all sorts of different causes, ranging from, police reform to media censorship to women's rights to genetically modified foods for all different causes. So I'm very passionate also about helping the homeless. My wife and I, we've gotten involved in meals programs pretty much just on our own, either whether it's with a church organization or independent organization, or we will prepare meals ourselves and go out and give those to those in need. So to me, it's when it comes to our public representatives, they have to, show and prove that they have this dedication to the community and its growth and development as they claim to want to help. We hear a lot of politicians saying that they want to help those in need, but of course, more often than not, once they get elected, they don't show and prove. So when it comes to vetting our politicians and public representatives, we got to look at what they're doing to actually get involved on the grassroots level. So not seeing that type of action happen myself with our public officials, that encouraged me to get involved in politics myself. So that's why I've been getting involved and, again, wanting to be that representation that's being demanded from our community. I could keep going.
Thank you for sharing that, because that was going to be my first question, actually. Because actually Charlotte and I were in Los Angeles yesterday. I'm getting ready to put a video on my YouTube channel. We talked to one individual out by Echo Park in Los Angeles. I don't know if you've recently been to LA, but there's a large population of encampments going on each minute and each second as we're speaking, and it's a huge problem in California. So we fortunately got lucky yesterday and talked to some individuals outside of the encampments from the communities that are impacted by the homeless, and then the homeless themselves. So my first question to you are, what are you planning to do with fixing the homeless problem? I think you basically, kind of shielded what you're starting to do with the mills and things like that. But I think the homeless community feels it goes a little bit further than that. So
yes,
can you give some more insight to what you?
Indeed. Well, yes, it definitely goes a lot deeper than meals. I mean, I would think the first thing that anyone that's unhoused would want is a home. Which is my plan as governor, is to actually build homes for the homeless instead of spending tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars on temporary housing like Project Roomkey, which essentially turns hotels into high-priced housing for, those that are looking for a roof over their heads. So my plan is to create 3D printed homes. This 3D printed technology exists now, and the state-of-the-art technology can build these homes in less than 24 hours for less than $5,000 each, and they're self-sustainable. They have their own water and power. So once the home is built, it's no longer a liability for the people of California, the state. So these 3D printed homes, of course, could be made readily available for those seeking emergency housing, especially right now during this pandemic. The quicker we can come up with a solution to get people off the streets, the better. We also have lots of families that are being threatened with losing their homes, whether it be them not being able to pay rent or, being backed up on being able to pay mortgage or whatever the case may be. But they are in need of homes as well. So to respond to that call, I again will be building homes, but the problem goes a lot deeper. There's many people that are out there on the streets that are unhoused that have other issues other than them not being able to have a roof over their head. So for those people that are dealing with mental health issues, I do plan on sending out actually mental health professionals and creating a mental health response team for anyone dealing with a mental breakdown of some sort. Instead of sending off police officers, I think that really just exacerbates the situation and, of course, could turn it to end up being a violent response opposed to a more humanitarian one. So I think those people that are in need of help or maybe even be dealing with a substance abuse issue, maybe they are in need of rehabilitation. And I support that versus, I support approaching the issue more so as a health issue opposed to a criminal one. The country of Portugal in 2001, they actually decriminalized all drugs. So when this happened, people thought, the country was going to go to hell. I hate to, figure of speech here, but it didn't happen. Actually, the opposite happened. Use actually decreased, and people became more responsible in their usage of, substances. And now they have a growing market from that decriminalization. And we're starting to see that now happen in America with the decriminalization of marijuana. Now it's becoming an equitable market and a way for us to generate revenue outside of taking it out of taxpayers' pockets. And that's essentially what I would like to do, is shift to more non-taxpayer revenue generated streams of income versus taking it out of hardworking people's pockets.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate that. I think, Charlotte, I think you wanted to say also something to that matter. Not about the homeless, but just about
our trip.
Give me what you got.
So, well, yeah, you know what? We were, yesterday was quite a strange day. And I'll tell you, we came down over the grade where we could see the ocean, and sitting out in the ocean are 50 or 60 ships loaded with cargo. Mm-hmm. And we're going, what on earth is going on? I mean, it looks like we're under siege, all these ships out there. So we talked with some locals and found out that the ships were actually cargo ships that could not come into port because of COVID, and that they had been sitting out there for a couple of months.
Oh my God.
And the people can't come off of them either. It's not like, they're coming back and forth.
Wow.
They're out there. So the magnitude of that, I guess, finally sunk into us, that this COVID, these arbitrary and frivolous mandates that have been put on all of us are affecting us, our economic prosperity.
Absolutely.
But it's going all the way down into our community. If the ships are sitting out there full of cargo, mm-hmm. What are our stores? So of course they're going to have to shutter. They're going to, so the impact.
Oh no.
Are you still there?
I think we lost her.
I think there you are again.
I'm back. Here I am. So anyway, it all. Thank you. I don't know what's going on. The internet's kind of freaking out. So I know when you ran in I'm kind of rambling on.
No, not at all.
I just wanted you to know the impact of that. And were you aware that this is happening out in the ocean, at our ports, that people aren't getting supplies, not because it's not here,
Absolutely.
because of these mandates.
Right.
And
yeah.
how
Go ahead.
How is that? No. It's just coming back to the whole our community economies. What is it doing to us? And how are we going to get back to that? Now, I know in 2018, you ran on a platform of doing an audit.
Yes.
A public audit.
Absolutely.
And you still stand on that. And what and how will you present your findings to the public, even if they're not good?
Absolutely. Well, I'd still do plan on doing an audit immediately. I think it's needed right now more than ever before, because all of our tax dollars have been used for so many different programs, government programs, whether it's emergency aid to those in need, or, these actions like what you're talking about, preventing our ships, our cargo ships, from being able to unload their products. And we're starting to see that shortage happen in our stores. Even in Long Beach, they're starting to shut down stores because of them not paying extra wages to employees, that are working during this pandemic. So we're starting to see the shuttering of stores happen in certain communities. And again, a limiting of materials because of that. So this definitely could lead to food shortages, which we definitely do not want,
right?
Because we need food more than we need toilet paper. And I believe that if of course we were to, we need the toilet paper for sure, but everybody's getting bidets now. So who knows what's going to happen to toilet paper in the future, But with regards to the audit and it being conducted, this will be completely transparent and public and open to everyone to see. So it will be available minute by minute online. This audit will be done publicly by everyone of the public, not public officials. So if you like numbers, or an accountant, or a professor, or whatever the case may be, or just a concerned citizen, and you want to know where our tax dollars are going, if you want to help in the auditing process, you will be welcome to assist with that and go through those records, because as I said, a lot can definitely be uncovered from that. I mean, we already know that Gavin Newsom's winery, Plum Jack Winery, took tens of millions of dollars that were supposed to be meant to help small businesses, taxpayer-backed loans, by the way. It was meant to help small businesses, and instead it went in his pocket. That definitely should not be acceptable. And once we dig into the numbers and find out what's actually been going on, if it is discovered that there has been any type of criminal behavior, I will be pushing to have those involved arrested and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I think that's the way to kind of balance out our accountability when it comes to our government, because right now they're not being held accountable. They're pretty much just acting outside of their law, outside of the authority, outside of their constitutional authority, definitely. So the best way for us to rein them in is, of course, to get some kind of public tribunal. And that's the type of administration I will be creating once I'm elected.
Okay, if you both wouldn't mind, let's move on to, yes. I'm just so happy. I don't even know how to say that you took the time, literally. Let's move on though to the, because we're on 1:16, to the next question that I have for you, if you don't mind. And that would be, are you going to defund the police? If so, how will you handle it?
Well, I believe the police definitely could do better with less money. I mean, there's police departments in the state that are buying Teslas and McLarens even. They shouldn't be buying high-end, luxury vehicles using our tax dollars. And we shouldn't be letting our tax dollars be used to militarize our police departments when their job is to protect and serve. And as peace officers, the first thing that you need to do is be properly trained. A lot of our police officers haven't had any weapons training. They have outdated weapons training and haven't even used their service weapon in decades. So for those police officers, of course, better training is necessary. And to release the amount of police-involved shootings, that definitely could be beneficial to not only the people of the community, but the police departments. They have a reputation and they want to be respected for their contribution to the community, which is much appreciated and much needed because we want to be able to rely on them for our safety and protection. But first and foremost, we definitely need to make sure that they're trustworthy. Unfortunately, many departments have been discovered to not be. We have gangs that are developing in our sheriff's departments, like what's happening in Los Angeles with the Los Banditos gang, I believe it's called. And this is a gang within our law enforcement agency. That should be completely unacceptable. And we as taxpayers, we're footing the bill for their activity. Not only them being negligent, but whenever it leads to any type of a lawsuit to where damages are being paid to victims, for their abuses of power, whether it's a police shooting or a police beating, we, the people, end up having to foot that bill for that civil suit. So instead of us paying tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars to people for restitution, we could better invest that into making sure that we have a more responsible, more efficient police agency. So I definitely believe there needs to be some accountability, which is why I will be removing the qualified immunity, which allows pretty much officers to act as they do and be immune to any type of disciplinary action. And this also happened to judges. Judges have judicial immunity, so they can lie on the bench, they can practice law from the bench, which is outside of their authority. And again, since there is no one policing the police, they are, continuing to act outside of their constitutional authority. So in order to make sure that they are being bound to that same constitutional oath as governor, that's exactly what I'll be doing.
So I have a question.
Charlotte, I think you also have.
Would you? Well, right. I do. You're leading right into where I'm going. But my question is, would you encourage the all of the policing agencies to cooperate with the federal agencies, or would you, as some governors have done, kind of put a wall in between federal and state as far as policing?
Absolutely. Well, legally, that wall is called posse comitatus. It's an act that separates each law enforcement agency. The reason why you want to do this is because you don't want to have one unified law enforcement agency that's global. If we had that, then there would be no checks and balances. Because if the local police don't abide by the law, the sheriff's department is there to make sure that they are. The sheriff's department isn't acting out is acting outside of the law, then it's up to federal agents and our National Guard to make sure that. But if they're all working together, if there's any corruption in one department, then you can best be sure that it's going to bleed over to the others. So again, the separation of powers is there to protect us. That's why if you ever watch an old TV show or movie, you'd have a police department dealing with the crime scene, and then the FBI would come in and they say, "Oh no, here comes the feds to take over the crime scene." Well, that's what's necessary. They're not stepping on your toes. They're again just making sure that everything is being done according to the law. So if we don't have that put in place, and unfortunately due to the Patriot Act, which suspended posse comitatus, that is exactly what happened. That's why we have the creation of the, Department of, the Department of Security. So if we didn't have that suspension, then that agency itself wouldn't even exist.
Interesting.
I think Charlotte also wanted Charlotte, about the guns, because I know a lot of people are also concerned about their gun rights here in California.
Yes, very much so. And the fact that so many states have make it the concealed carry is accessible to most people in most states, but not in California. They make it very difficult for you to get a CCW here. Mm-hmm. Almost to the point that you have to be in law enforcement to have one, and it shouldn't be that way.
Exactly.
Well, that's my personal opinion.
I agree with you completely as well. Well, I'm with both of you ladies then on that one, because as governor, I am planning on making California a constitutional carry state. All and every gun law is pretty much unconstitutional, because as the Constitution says, we have the right to bear arms. It doesn't say which type. It doesn't say we must pay a permit or pay a fee to get a permit to be allowed by the government to exercise that right. We have the natural right as human beings to protect ourselves, whether it be using a gun or using a knife or using a cup or whatever the case may be. However you choose to protect yourself, you should be able to do so, and there shouldn't be an infringement upon that natural right whatsoever. So once I'm elected governor, I will be nullifying the Mulford Act. That's the act that prevented you from being able to openly carry in the state of California, which was actually created by Republicans in response to the Black Panthers openly carrying weapons on the state capitol. So before that, California used to be an open carry state.
Yeah, that's another topic we can probably discuss down the line.
Yeah.
Indeed. But yes.
Thanks for that information. That was great.
No problem.
Thank you.
But yes, constitutional carry from Wildstar for governor.
Nickolas, because we're running limited, we only have 5 minutes left. Okay. I just want to know if you would be available probably in the next couple of days or week, because we'll be interviewing other candidates running for California governor, to do another intensive interview with us about the school system and about these mandatory vaccines, and how all that's going, and the mask wearing in the school, and just everything. Just focus, that topic would basically be about getting kids back in school, and what kind of implementations you would do in order to get the children back into school, or if you're going to make vaccines mandatory, or just how that's all going to be handled if you would be California governor.
Absolutely.
Would you be open for an interview, with us?
Yes, I'd be happy to come back and
time. I know you're on it.
Yes, well, my biggest issue right now is I'm actually facing a sentencing next week, Friday, for videotaping my own court proceedings. So I recently had a trial and was found guilty for 6 counts of contempt of court for, again, recording my own court proceedings, and am facing a possible 6-year sentence. What's that?
Save the date.
Yes, exactly. Definitely. But in the event that I am not sentenced to, a stupid long court, jail sentence for recording my own court proceedings, and am still able to make the election and, continue campaigning, then I'd be happy to come back on and speak with you more. But for anybody that would like to find out more, visit my website, governorwildstar.com, and click on Free Wildstar. And you can find out more about my story, the videos I have from those court proceedings. You can see them yourself. And, of course, find out how you can get involved, because I am holding a protest that Friday outside of the courthouse. So I'll keep you posted on what's going to be happening.
And is that in LA or is that in Fresno?
That's at the Santa Ana Courthouse, because this happened in Fullerton in Orange County. And although I live in Fresno, I have to travel 4 hours, to come down to SoCal and deal with this
maybe
stupidity.
We can come and join you. We're kind of close. We're down here in San Diego.
All right.
Charlotte?
Yeah, we'll stand on the steps.
I would love that. Come on down. Yeah. Let's do it. Just please, Free Wildstar. That's what we want.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. And I just want to ask, I know it's early, but has the Libertarian Party gotten behind you, or do you have...
I missed the last part of what you said there, but I'm actually running as a Republican, as Ron Paul did during his 2012 presidential campaign. So I consider myself to be a Libertarian Republican, since I'm promoting the Libertarian Party platform. But I've gotten a lot of support from Libertarian Party members, not the party itself officially, due to the obvious conflict of interest. But lots of love and support from the Libertarian members, as well as voters that voted for me in the previous elections.
Well, I just have to tell you, I think that we're all kind of moving beyond that party label anyway.
Exactly.
People are just going to be voting for who they, relate with,
I find it sincere, because a lot of people, that's the thing that I'm trying to do. A lot of people say that they're going to do these things, and we had that with Newsom. I believe that's why everyone's disappointed.
Right.
They get in office and they kind of forget the common people on the on the level of the people. So I think that's why for me it's very important, if I can say a last note, that I just want to listen to what everyone's saying, and especially with the homeless, because that can be where we are right now. Everyone can basically become homeless within seconds. So we really have to kind of work at this, this problem for sure, because it is a problem. It's not even to be undertoned as not being a problem.
Right.
Wait until you see her video that we shot yesterday. Oh my gosh! It was just.
What are you to do, Nickolas? Thanks for reminding me, Charlotte. We're gonna end on one last note. 1 minute to go. What are you to do? I always like to ask my audience that.
What's my what?
What is your challenge to do?
What is my challenge to do?
Subscribe to CaliGail.
Oh, yeah, for sure. My bad. Definitely. I already accepted that challenge. It's up to others to do so also. But yes, subscribe to CaliGail for sure.
That was a trick question. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'll definitely send you the video over when I have it done today. And you can take a look at what we had for an experience. And again, Charlotte and I do thank you for taking the time today.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. Thank you both, and I appreciate the conversation and look forward to talking to you again too. You take care until then.
Yeah, probably we'll see you up in your court case. I'll take a look at that.
All right, let's hope so. Come on down. Let's have some fun. Take care, you guys.
Long live liberty. Just in case.
Exactly. God bless you guys.
All right.
Bless you too.